Hey guys, welcome back to the Transparent Couch.
I'm Tam,
And I'm Cody,
and on the Transparent Couch, it's not about where you're sitting.
but who's sitting with you?
So, guys, let's hop right into this video. As you guys can see in the title and the thumbnail, we are talking about dealing with disappointment.
Yeah.
If you can tell, if you're someone who watches me frequently, I'm sure you can tell that I look exhausted, and that is because I am.
Yeah.
And Cody and I were actually talking about what we wanted to talk about, and it kind of popped up just randomly in conversation last night. We were talking about just dealing with disappointment and dealing with how we feel about our life right now.
Right.
And so I'll let Cody kind of start off with some of the things we were talking about, and then I can pipe in. But
One of the main things I think that just prompted the conversation is we were talking about Carson
yeah,
because he hasn't been formally diagnosed, but we can tell there's based on symptoms, there's some form of ADHD there. And the kind of guilt, it's actually a whole gamut of emotions like guilt, disappointment, or even in some instances embarrassment when you notice that he's struggling or being disruptive. And we were just trying to talk through that in specifically last night.
yeah, and I think too, um, we began to talk about. Um, I'm trying not to cry.
Mm, it's okay.
We began to talk about just our routine as a
Hmm.
family
Hmm.
and how it affects our children, right? So ultimately, do we know that we're not bad parents? Yes, but
Hmm.
sometimes you feel like a bad parent
Right.
when you're watching your lifestyle and how it affects your children.
Hmm.
And for a child who struggles with ADHD, which, like we said, he hasn't been diagnosed, but we know he does have it. It's hereditary.
Hmm.
Cody has it, and we know, we can see it. As someone who works with children with ADHD, he shows textbook signs of ADHD.
And his doctor has insinuated it, but hasn't, because he's 5, haven't went through the formal steps to actually
Because
give
he's
him
so
a
young.
diagnosis. Yeah. Yeah.
So I think for us, Cody and I are in the phase of life where we're in our early 30s. We're
Hmm.
still young. We're still trying to build an empire. We're still trying to build a legacy for our children. And in
Right.
the midst of that, with us being young, still learning what it means to be husband and wife, what it means to be a mom and a dad, we're still learning.
Right.
And when we got this age, we realized, man, our parents was just figuring it out. It makes sense because that's exactly what we're doing.
Right.
And we've made so many mistakes, but we've also learned from the mistakes that our parents made
Hmm.
and the mistakes that we've seen others make who have poured into us wisdom into us.
Right.
But both Cody and I both struggle with staying consistent. We both struggle with that.
Hmm.
And if I'm completely honest, we've talked about this before. I show signs of ADHD as well, just it's not severe. It's
Hmm.
really, for me, I have difficulty with attention and focus. Yeah, that's really mainly for me,
Yeah.
attention and focus and being able to stay. Like, I get bored really easily. I can get distracted very
Hmm.
easily. But it's something that even as a child, I was just able to kind of
Right.
coast through. Um, but because of that, it shows in my life now as an adult. And so right now, you guys see us sitting on this couch, but our room is a wreck. And Cody cleaned it the week before last, top to bottom. It was spotless.
Y'all watched the vlog.
Y'all seen the vlog. I cleaned it
Yep.
and
Last week.
last week, and literally, y'all, it looks like all hell broke loose in here. So yeah, our room is just kind of all over the place. Like, I'm looking at it right now, and like, that's just a product of our life and
Yeah.
the busyness of our life. But in that, it's been my goal for us to be organized. I've bought dry erase boards. I've bought like planners. I've bought house, like literally a dry erase board that's right by the door that has like what we're doing for the week, chores, all of that, laundry list,
Hmm.
and I think we've written on it for Cody's birthday last year. On it, it says Cody's birthday,
And
and
it's
it
still
wasn't
there.
even me that wrote it. My mom wrote it,
And it's still there.
and it's still there from last year. And so, right now it's just decoration.
Yeah.
But I think the frustrating part is trying to balance all of that and knowing that if we had a more consistent, the boys have a consistent schedule, but
Mhm.
in that it gets disrupted because we're always doing something.
Right.
And honestly, I carry guilt because they'll come in here and want to spend time with us and we're shooing them away because we're trying to get something done. We have a project to work on, we got a client to do. It's just always something.
Yeah.
And so the disappointment set in for me when I realized that I wasn't doing for my family what I desired to do, which is to have a routine, keep the house neat and decent, be able to cook a home cooked meal at least 4 times a week.
Mhm.
And I haven't been able to do that. And then watching my baby struggle. I mean, struggle to stay focused. And he's so smart, such a sweet kid, but he gets bored very easily. And I had him sitting in my lap yesterday. I was talking to him directly in his face, and I was like, Carson, mommy needs you to focus and listen in class. And he's like, his eyes got so big. He was so stimulated. I don't know what had him so stimulated, but I got him right in my lap, like right here in front of me, and I'm looking right at his face, and he's like, uh huh. He's trying to keep his eyes on me. He's like looking over, trying to do
Mhm.
something. He literally was looking at me, and then something caught his attention. So then he kind of looked over like this and started trying to touch it, and I was just like, my baby really can't. He can't help it. He's not trying to not focus and not. He's not trying to not pay attention. He literally can't help it. And that's when I knew. I was like, okay, what can we do as parents to help him?
Right.
And that's when it just started like spiraling from there. So we're exhausted because we got a lot going on, and we're tired. As a couple that's been married 9 years, together for 12,
Mhm.
parents for 8,
Yeah.
um, we trying to figure this thing out.
Yep.
We're trying to figure this thing out for real. And what I have found has helped us, even in the midst of all of that, is communicating our expectations
Mhm.
of the day. Because when Cody gets up and he creates a checklist and he sends it to me and says, these are the things I have to do. Can you add to it something I may have missed? And also add to it things you have to do so we can compare it and see how we can make it work.
Or
That helps for us.
or take something off my list that maybe can get pushed till tomorrow if there's more things that I forgot, because I do forget. If there's more things that I forgot that she remembers, to add to the list, we have to keep each other accountable that way.
For sure. We definitely have to keep each other accountable. We're going to do a conversation probably next week about dealing with spouse with adult ADHD. I think that's important to talk about, and I think it's something that a lot of people aren't really talking about. They're
Yeah.
talking about what is ADHD, what are the symptoms, but to be married to someone who has it as an adult and what that means and what that entails. And the reason I brought that up was because you had mentioned how you forget, and that's one of the symptoms of it. Cody forgets a lot. And I used to get so angry and so frustrated at him because I'm like, how many times do I have to keep telling you, like, you need to remember to do this, this, and this. And once he got the diagnosis, it really clicked for me. Like, he's forgetting because he genuinely doesn't remember.
Yeah.
And that's hard for me to swallow because then I'm like, okay, I just got to deal with it. So it's a lot.
But
It's a lot that goes into it.
that'll be a good conversation because we can dig into your thought process of why you were scared of me getting the diagnosis.
We
Yeah,
can definitely dig into that.
dig into
But
that, and
we
but yeah.
we wanted to have this conversation with y'all because once again, we say this all the time. We really want to have real, authentic, transparent conversation with you because that's what we were looking for online, and it's only a handful of people out there who's keeping it real.
Right.
And you have some content creators who say things like, "Oh, we keep it real on here," but they really don't. Like they show you this false ideal of what's really happening.
Mm-hmm.
We want y'all to hear the good, the bad, and the ugly. We want y'all to see it all because at the end of the day, we want to help people, and y'all could be helping us. Because I'm definitely going to ask you all to comment below and give us some suggestions on how we can, battle this disappointment of feeling like we're not
Yeah.
doing what we need to do as husband and wife, parents, business owners, just trying to stay on track. So We definitely want your input. We just want to share this with y'all, that that's something we're struggling with right now.
Yep.
We need sleep. We need a vacation. We need everything. Yeah, guys, comment down below. Let us know how you've handled situations like this. Do you have a child that has ADHD? Do you struggle with staying focused, staying on task? Have you struggled with trying to balance the things of life? Let us know how you've been doing it. And yeah, we'd love to hear from you in the comment section. And until next time, this has been the Transparent Couch, where it's not about where you're sitting,
but who's sitting with you.
I love you guys, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye.
Bye.